that I really don't like her as an actress.
And studios not wanting to hire her given the fact that it might result in their movie not making a whole lot of money at the box office.
I very much had no interest in seeing Rachel Zegler in any movies heading into this.
And if you disagree with this sentiment, just hit the unfollow button. I don't need your business. Thanks.
I'm so sorry. Rachel, you got time to sign some autographs for us, Rachel? Rachel, please. Rachel, you got time to sign some, Rachel? Maybe on the way out?
Just weeks after being ousted from the Evita production in what multiple insiders described as a full-blown cast rebellion, Rachel Zegler allegedly showed up at the theater, quietly, unannounced, and completely uninvited. And what happened next sent shockwaves through the entire building. According to multiple backstage sources, Rachel was caught spying on a closed rehearsal. Not from the audience seats, not even from the hallway, but from inside, lurking behind the side curtain, watching. Her replacement performed the iconic Don't Cry For Me Argentina like it still belonged to her. But it gets worse. When cast members spotted her, everything exploded. Voices were raised. Accusations flew. One insider claimed someone outright screamed, "You're not welcome here," while Rachel allegedly snapped back with, "This role was mine. Before it was yours." Security was reportedly called. Crew members froze. The entire rehearsal came to a screeching halt. What was supposed to be a quiet evening run-through turned...
Rachel Zegler is getting a lot of hate, and it's definitely not because she's a person of color. No, it's because in all of her interviews, she seems really young and inexperienced. Not that she is a young and inexperienced actress. No, she's won a Golden Globe, so she should definitely know what she's doing. And when she landed a big role like this and realized that this is not the character that she really wants to portray, she should have given that role to someone who really understands that character and loves that character. And Rachel Zegler should have known that and understood that.
Turned into yet another chaotic headline in the Rachel Zegler saga. And then came the divide. Some people rushed to her defense. "I hope everyone stops giving Rachel Zegler such a hard time," one emotional fan posted. "She's a young woman. What the hell is she supposed to do?" Others echoed the sentiment. They know that by throwing even the tiniest bit of controversy at her, the internet will eat it alive. It's like tossing chum to piranhas. Get her, tear her apart, and then that becomes the story. And just like that, what should have been a routine rehearsal turned into the most chaotic moment since Rachel's last meltdown went viral. But the question remained, why was she even there? Was it obsession, desperation, or something far more calculated? Because if you thought the Rachel Zegler drama ended when she walked off stage, think again.
This got me thinking she is never getting another main role again because she's got this atrocity on her resume. Having this on your resume is like being a and trying to apply to be a teacher. Get the out of here. Like, am I the only one who can see a world where she's auditioning for another big role for a big film and the director just looks at her and is like, "Yeah, this you? Worst movie of all time? Yeah, first door on your left. Get the out of here." He ruined her life.
It's lonely. It's very lonely, Rachel once said in a now resurfaced clip. But if that loneliness can exist, so can other things, and I'll be okay. Maybe that's a weird takeaway, but this is not supposed to be anything other than insightful entertainment. It's what I do best. I'm so grateful, but I'm also keeping it real. It all began with so much promise. Rachel Zegler, cast as Eva Perón, was supposed to lead one of the most high-profile revivals of Evita in recent memory. A grand return to theater, a redemption arc, a career reset after months of being dragged through the mud online. The press releases were glowing. The internet buzz was massive. And for a moment, it seemed like Rachel had the
I hope everyone stops giving Rachel Zegler just such a hard time.
Just young women that can't, what the is she supposed to do? Don't blame it on a 20-year-old girl. Like, it's just horrible. And also, it's just that it just relies
they know that just by throwing a few little things at her, the internet hates women, hates young women that do well. And so they just like, it's like throwing like
Grenade.
a little bit of like food into the sea of piranhas, and then it's just like, get her. And then that becomes the story. And it's really mean.
Industry right back in her corner. Fans were hyped. Why is she starring in the West End version of Evita? I don't understand. That's what I'd say if I had no taste. Rachel Zegler? Oh my God. When are you guys going to realize how much of a powerhouse she is? I'm going to be front row. She's going to slay Evita. I can't wait. All right. Congrats, Rachel. Good luck. And just like that, no tweets, no Instagram posts, no official statement. She vanished from the digital world like the scandal never even happened. But silence doesn't mean surrender. As we're about to find out, Rachel Zegler wasn't done with Evita, not even close. She once said, "Video is going to get taken out of context, and I know that I can't really stop people from doing that. That's just what my existence on the internet is now. Me being taken out of context. And that's fine. That's what I signed up for, isn't it?" Theater insiders called it radio silence. After her alleged removal from Evita, Rachel didn't defend herself. She didn't push back online. She didn't hint, subtweet, or even like a post about it. No stories, no comments, no acknowledgement whatsoever. To the public, it looked like she had ghosted the entire situation. But behind the scenes, Rachel never let go. "I never want it to come off as me being ungrateful," she once said. "This has been the biggest adjustment of my life, understanding how my life operates now, being who I am, and the things I've been so fortunate to be part of." And according to multiple sources close to the production, Rachel remained obsessed with Evita even after being sidelined. She allegedly kept messaging crew members for updates, asking which songs were being reworked, who was taking over her scenes, how the direction was shifting. One dancer even claimed she showed up at their apartment unannounced, just to talk things through. Things got strange fast. A producer said they saw her car parked across the street from the theater multiple days in a row. A costume assistant claimed she saw a familiar silhouette peeking through the side stage loading dock before slipping away. At first, everyone brushed it off. Maybe she was just emotional, maybe saying goodbye. But it didn't stop. Rumors spread that she tried to re-enter the theater through a service entrance and was turned away. Others said she contacted the new lead's vocal coach and asked for notes on how they were adjusting the role. It was like she couldn't let go. One cast member reportedly said, "She wasn't just upset, she was still living the part. It was like Eva wasn't a character anymore. It was her identity." As her name faded from the promo posters, fans started noticing strange activity too. Rachel unfollowed multiple cast members on Instagram. Comments surfaced, then disappeared, hinting someone was watching from the wings. Some theatergoers even claimed they spotted her in the back rows of late-night rehearsals. It was all speculation, until it wasn't. Because what happened next wasn't rumor. It wasn't whispered in green rooms. It was loud, messy, and seen by everyone. Rachel Zegler didn't just observe from a distance. She came back. It was a normal afternoon. Vocal warm-ups had wrapped. Lighting cues were being run. The new lead, calm and collected, stepped on stage to rehearse the emotional centerpiece number. "Don't Cry for Me, Argentina." And then everything stopped. Behind a half-drawn curtain stood someone no one expected to see again, Rachel Zegler. 3 separate accounts confirmed she slipped into the building through a side entrance, typically reserved for maintenance and security. How she bypassed the check-in system remains unclear. Some say she still had her access card. Others believe she was buzzed in by someone sympathetic. What is clear is that she wasn't there by accident. She stood silently at the edge of the stage, arms crossed, watching her replacement perform the scene that once belonged to her. Word spread instantly. You could feel the tension like electricity. One dancer whispered, "Is that Rachel?" Another said, "She's back. Why?" Then came the confrontation. The new lead noticed her and stopped mid-line. A crew member said the silence was suffocating. You could hear a pin drop. And then, someone snapped. A supporting cast member allegedly shouted, "You're not supposed to be here!" Rachel didn't flinch. "I'm just watching," she reportedly replied. "I created this." That was the breaking point. A stagehand ran for production staff. Others followed. Rachel refused to move, saying she just wanted to see how it was going. One source claimed she looked the new lead dead in the eyes and muttered, "Let's see if you can actually handle it." Chaos. Lines were forgotten. The rehearsal halted. Several cast members reportedly walked off stage, demanding she be removed immediately. Security was called. But this time it wasn't a rumor. It was real. Rachel Zegler had crossed the line from controversial to unwelcome. As staff tried to de-escalate, Rachel reportedly refused to leave. A source close to the production said, she snapped, "I gave everything to this role. You can't erase me." The new lead, still in full costume, allegedly responded, "Then stop trying to sabotage it." That's when things spiraled. Witnesses say the cast and crew gathered around, unsure whether to intervene or just watch the meltdown unfold. One backstage worker described it like a live reality show, only no one was acting. Rachel insisted the role was stolen, that she deserved answers, that those who turned on her would regret it. She even tried to walk towards center stage before being blocked by crew. Fans started noticing something else. She unfollowed multiple cast members on Instagram. A few accounts posted and quickly deleted, comments hinting at someone watching from the wings. Even theatergoers began reporting sightings of someone who looked a lot like Rachel sitting in the back during late-night rehearsals. It was all speculation, until it wasn't. Because what happened next wasn't a rumor. It wasn't whispered behind closed doors. It was loud, messy, and fully visible to everyone in the building. Rachel Zegler didn't just watch from a distance anymore. She walked back in. It was a normal afternoon at the theater. The cast had just wrapped vocal warm-ups. The crew was prepping Act 1 lighting cues. The new lead actress, calm, focused, stepped onto the stage for a full run-through of the show's centerpiece number, and then everything stopped, because standing near the wings, behind a half-drawn curtain, was someone no one expected to see. Again, Rachel Zegler. According to 3 separate accounts, Rachel slipped into the building through a side entrance typically used by maintenance and security. How she got past the check-in system is still unclear. Some say she still had her access card. Others believe she was buzzed in by someone sympathetic. What is clear? She wasn't there by accident. Witnesses say she stood silently at the edge of the stage, arms crossed, watching her replacement perform her scene. The emotional, "Don't cry for me, Argentina" word spread fast. You could feel it in the air, like a storm waiting to break. One dancer reportedly whispered, "Is that Rachel?" Another said, "She's back. Why?" Then came the confrontation. The new Evita lead allegedly stopped midline the moment she noticed Rachel standing just off stage. One crew member said the silence was so thick you could hear a pin drop until someone snapped. A supporting cast member reportedly turned to Rachel and shouted, "You're not supposed to be here!" Rachel didn't flinch. She allegedly replied, "I'm just watching. I created this." That was the breaking point. A stagehand ran to alert production staff. 2 others followed. Rachel reportedly refused to leave, insisting she just wanted to see how it was going. One source claimed she looked directly at the new lead and muttered, "Let's see if you can actually handle it." Chaos erupted. Lines were forgotten. Rehearsal halted. Several cast members allegedly walked off stage, demanding she be removed. Immediately, security was called, and this time, it wasn't just whispered backstage. Rachel Zegler had officially gone from controversial to unwelcome. What happened next made everything worse. If the cast had doubts before, that day erased them completely. Rachel didn't just show up uninvited. She created a scene nobody could ignore. Once security arrived, theater staff reportedly tried to de-escalate, calm her down, ease her out quietly. But Rachel wasn't having it. According to someone close to the production, she snapped, "I gave everything to this role. You can't erase me." The new Evita lead, still in full costume, allegedly responded without hesitation, then stopped trying to sabotage it. And that's when it spiraled. Multiple witnesses said cast and crew gathered near the confrontation, unsure whether to intervene or just stay out of the blast zone. One backstage worker said it felt like a reality show meltdown. Only no one was acting. Rachel reportedly refused to leave. She insisted the role was taken from her unfairly. She deserved answers. And those who turned on her would regret it. Some claimed she even tried to walk toward center stage before being physically blocked by crew members. Then came the breaking point. One rumor claimed the production was considering a restraining order, not because Rachel was dangerous, but for peace of mind. Another suggested she might be blacklisted from future collaborations with the theater company. Emails allegedly circulated between major Broadway producers, warning others about her behavior. Even former supporters started to distance themselves. One cast member who defended Rachel in interviews reportedly deleted all photos with her from their social media. Another reposted a meme of the Evita cast celebrating, captioned, "It's peaceful now." Then came the legal speculation. Tabloids began tossing around phrases like unauthorized access, professional disruption, and breach of contract. One anonymous entertainment lawyer said that if Rachel still had access post-termination, it could spell legal trouble. Rachel's team, still silent. No statements, no dates, no damage control. And the silence, it only made things worse. Fans who were once undecided started switching sides. Hashtags like Evita Unbothered and Evita Reborn started trending. And just like that, the narrative flipped completely. Rachel was no longer a misunderstood artist. She was the storm they barely escaped. As the curtain finally rose on the new Evita, one question echoed across social media. What was Rachel Zegler doing next? The moment the story hit online, it exploded. Within minutes of the first leaked post about Rachel backstage, the internet lit up. TikTok drama breakdowns, Reddit timelines, fan accounts compiling every deleted post. The hashtag, "Caught by the Curtain," trended for hours, and the reactions, brutal. One viral tweet read, "Imagine being kicked out of the group project, and still showing up to the presentation." Another said, "Rachel Zegler is officially in her 'I'm not in the play, but I'm watching from the parking lot' era." But not everyone was laughing. A few die-hard fans defended her, claimed she was being painted as the villain again, that she had every right to care about the show she helped shape. One fan wrote, "They stole her role and gaslit her out of existence." But those voices were drowned out by memes, call-outs, and speculation. Was this just a breakdown or a setup for something bigger? Some noticed Rachel quietly followed casting agents and indie directors. Others clocked her liking tweets about unapologetic, women reclaiming space. Then came the bombshell. One of Rachel's close contacts allegedly told a gossip outlet she's been taking meetings, not for theater, but for a dramatic streaming series, loosely based on a misunderstood female star ousted from Broadway. People immediately asked, is she writing a version of her own downfall? The timing was too perfect, too on brand. Is Rachel spiraling or scripting her next chapter? Because if there's one thing we've learned, she's not the type to stay gone for long. So where does that leave Rachel Zegler? On paper, it looks like total implosion, removed from a high-profile musical, allegedly banned from rehearsals, reportedly caught spying on her replacement, escorted out by security, mocked by memes, blacklisted by producers, and her silence only fueling the fire. But here's the twist. What if this isn't the end? What if this is the pivot? Rachel Zegler isn't just some random actress who stumbled into fame. She was a viral audition star, a social media force before her first film dropped. She's weathered controversy and still landed major roles. So is this a collapse or a calculated act? Because the timing, her exit, the silence, the rumored streaming deal, it all feels strategic. Refusing to speak, that creates mystery, and mystery fuels engagement. Some media insiders are starting to whisper, is Rachel pulling the oldest? Picture this. 6 months from now, Rachel sits down for a raw interview. Talks about the backlash, the mental toll, the loneliness. She owns it. I made mistakes, but I never stopped caring. Cue the sympathy. Cue the rebrand. Then boom, she's cast in an emotional indie drama as a misunderstood woman fighting her way back. Sound familiar? Rachel might be losing battles today, but that doesn't mean she's lost the war. The question isn't if she'll come back. It's how. Will it be a daring streaming project? A memoir? Or a full vanishing act, only to return like a phoenix from the ashes? Whatever the path, one thing's certain. This wasn't the ending Rachel Zegler planned, but it might be the beginning of her most audacious performance yet. And if the rumors are true, if cameras were already rolling behind the scenes, we're not watching her downfall, we're watching her origin story. So buckle up. Because whether you love her, hate her, or just can't look away, Rachel Zegler isn't done yet.